After Tottenham's Korean forward Son Heung-min suffered fractures around his left eye following a collision with a Marseille opponent last Tuesday evening, he's faced a whirlwind of assessments, surgery and speculation about whether he'll be fit again to play at the World Cup starting later this month. And if not, how would his team South Korea cope? 3 days after suffering the injury, Son was undergoing surgery. His operation was pushed up to last Friday in the hope he'd be able to compete in Qatar. The Korea Football Association later confirmed they'd been informed by Tottenham Son had completed a successful procedure, but also said it's too early at this point to discuss his status for the World Cup. And doctors here in South Korea have been speculating an orbital fracture could keep Son sidelined for between 4 and 8 weeks, but South Korea's World Cup group matches run from November 24th to December 2nd. Some are saying Son could play wearing a protective mask. Plenty of players have done so after suffering facial injuries, but analysts have said even with sufficient recovery and a mask, the bigger challenge may be a psychological one. Will Son feel ready to compete again? What if he needs to leap up in the air or stretch for a diving header? Normally, you would say just let him rest, avoid the risk. But World Cups only happen every 4 years, and Son is now arguably at his peak. He's also South Korea's captain, the team's most capped active player and top scorer. At least there is some hope. Speaking of Son's recovery after Tottenham's defeat to Liverpool on Sunday, Tottenham manager Antonio-Conte said he was confident that he can come back quickly and play the World Cup for South Korea. Just a couple of days earlier, Conte had been more cautious, saying there was no decision. And we have a positive precedent, as Manchester City midfielder Kevin-De-Bruyne suffered a fractured eye socket and nose at the end of May 2021. But was back playing for Belgium within 19 days. And that timeline would be just right for Son, albeit with very little leeway.